So, like any other 3D design modeling software application, one of the very first things that you need to be able to do is how to move your 3D perspective camera around the view. So, the view navigation is a really important thing. And the way that you do that in Alias Studio, if you want to do a view navigation like tumble around the object, this is called tumble. In other software applications, it's called orbit sometimes. And so this is tumbling. And then also dolly, so getting in and out, getting closer or farther away from the object. And also track, where you're sliding your view around left to right and up and down perpendicular to the viewing direction. So that's important for you to be able to do. But doing that requires a combination of pressing down on the particular keys on the keyboard and using the particular mouse button. So what we'll be doing is using the two keys at a given time on the keyboard, and also the left mouse button, middle mouse button, or the right mouse button for each of these tasks. So let me show you a chart here. So this chart shows that for viewing, so this is a combination of chart for three major tasks that you need to be able to do in Alias, and the set of uh, the keys shown on the left column here. So what this is this is a corner of a keyboard, and it's showing that you have to press down the Alt key and the Shift key at the same time. This is a simultaneous key, both of them at the same time. And then while holding these two keys down, you have to choose either the left mouse button or the middle mouse button or the right mouse button in order to be able to do the tumble, track, and dolly operation. So that's the view navigation here. So we'll get to the other two, the snapping and also the marking menu in just a second, probably in another video, two other videos. But bottom line is that you will be pressing down two of the keys on the bottom left hand corner of the keyboard at all times, um, and then choosing certain key button on the mouse, or for the viewing view navigation, and also for snapping, and also for marking menus. So this is a really good chart to memorize, and then have it become muscle memory at your fingertips. But for the time being, we are looking at view. So here, what I'm doing here is that I am pressing down the Shift and Alt key at the same time on the keyboard, and I'm clicking my left mouse button to tumble, and middle mouse button to track, up, down, sideways, and then right mouse button to dolly in and out. So that's the general view navigation. And another thing that I like to really emphasize is that you have to be able to look at your object as a center of focus. So in other software, there is a function, usually you press the F key for framing the object. Um, but in Alias, what you need to do is you need to select a particular object to focus on. So that will be selecting this object. I just used a marking menu function there, so don't worry about that. I have another video to explain what that is. So let's say you want to focus on this cylinder now. Instead of tracking over and then dialing over like this, which you can do, but what happens is that if you start tumbling around this object will run away from you because it has not been centered at the center of your focus. So this is a very counterproductive way of working. Every time you tumble, you have to catch up again by tracking. And if you tumble again, it runs away again. So that's not really a good way to work. What you need to do is you need to pick the object, which I have done already. I have selected this cylinder, and you have to use the look at command. Look at command is Alt L. So when you do that, your object will come to the center of your focus view, and when you tumble, it will not run away from you. It is center of your view, and your camera is tumbling, orbiting around the object as a center of focus of attention. And you can do that by deselecting this and selecting this object. Once again, I'm using marking menus, so don't get confused about that. But Alt L, and then now this torus is center of my focus of attention. You can also add, you can have multiple objects to be the center of focus attention. So like for example, if you want to focus on the cylinder and the cube, then you can do Alt L on those two, and you'll notice that the cube and the cylinder, the middle ground between the cube and the cylinder is the center of the tumbling operation. Later on, when you get a little bit more advanced, you can even focus attention on any particular aspect of the object. So I'll give you an example. I'm using the marking menu. So once again, don't get confused about this. I have another video on how to pick objects, deselect objects, and then also turn on and off these control points. So what I'm doing is that I'm picking a particular control point of an object. So if I do Alt L on that, then when you're making shape changes or any kind of like operation on a particular portion of an object, you can do that. You can say, I want to focus on a particular point, control point, one point of an object. You can focus in there, and then really work in that area with a very focused attention. So this Alt L command is a very useful one. If you don't use it, you will be very counterproductive, and you will be probably feel frustrated and not enjoy using the application as much as you can. So once again, if I want to pick the entire object here, I'm picking the whole object and then doing Alt L to L. And now I'm back at the object size navigation again. And then, if I pick more objects here, Alt L, I'm at more global, larger view navigation. And then once again, when I tumble, all these objects that have been done, picked and done a look at command, the Alt L, are focus of attention. And then once again, I can get very close to a point. There you go. I'm like navigating at supersonic speed from very large to very small view, and then and so forth. So, anyways, there's more to expand upon this actually, but I'll stop here for now.